This is Rob Marchant from Clive Empson Auctioneers, and this is one Chacksfield house at Craneswater Park in Southsea. Nice location, just down from the canoe lake, which is down at the bottom there opposite the yellow lorry. This is one of a pair of blocks, the other one being just to the left here, Hampshire Court, built late 60s, early 70s, very typical of that style and design, but slightly unusual property this, in that it's been in commercial use pretty much since built, and now offers scope and potential for continued use in that vein, or potentially for conversion into residential accommodation, subject of course to all the required consents being obtainable. We're offering this jointly with Joint Auctioneers Fry and Kent in Southsea, and as I said, an interesting property. The story with number one is that it was originally bought from new by a local doctor who wanted to continue to see some patients, and so had consulting rooms on site, and then around 20 years ago passed to the current owners, so only ever two owners of this particular property, and they've used it ever since for a beauty salon, hair, etc., and it's continued in that vein ever since. So there is scope and potential to continue with that kind of usage if that's what's required by the new owners, or potentially subject to all the required consents, perhaps convert back to the originally intended use of a residential flat. There is a car parking space, number 39, just outside, which obviously is a big advantage. And as mentioned at the beginning, this really is a lovely location just down off the seafront. Very nice residential road, and really very exciting opportunity for somebody. So let's go inside and see what the internal accommodation has got to offer. So moving inside through the communal hallway. As mentioned, outside this was originally built as a flat, and indeed in many respects still feels very much like a residential flat, but as mentioned previously, has been in use as treatment rooms. So this front room obviously was designed as a bedroom originally. Nice entrance hall. Large walk-in store. Again, scope and potential perhaps to do things with that. Then along the hall to the left, we've got a further bedroom on the original designs, I'm sure, but these days in use by a hairdresser. There's a cloakroom, and then moving through what has been a reception area. Could very easily go back to being a living space. Kitchen, subject to any consents that might be required. And then beyond that, this has been a further treatment room, at the moment used as something of a store, but quite a good size. Potential perhaps to incorporate that into the living room, make that larger, make use of the light if required. Alternatively, carry on with it as is. So this really is a very interesting one. Good opportunity for somebody either to continue in the current guise, use this as treatment rooms, or potentially look to convert back to its originally intended use as a residential flat, subject of course to all the required consents being obtainable. So this is number one Chacksfield house at Craneswater Park, which is available in the next Clive Empson online land and property auction in conjunction with our joint auctioneers Fry and Kent in Southsea.